There are many ways to get involved with the WordPress project. You can find more information on the various teams at make.wordpress.org. Communications for the different teams is done via the WordPress Slack. Information on how to join the WordPress Slack can be found at make.wordpress.org/chat. Here you will find information on how to get registered and started with Slack, as well as links to install Slack apps, which are available for Windows, Mac, iOS and Android devices. To gain access to the WordPress Slack, first you need to register for or log into your WordPress.org account. To register for a WordPress.org account, go to login.wordpress.org and click the link to create an account. On the page make.wordpress.org/chat, you will also see a link to log in to wordpress.org. On the create account page, you can set your username, lowercase letters and numbers, and set your preferred email address for your account. After filling in both fields, click Create Account. This window should also show a prompt for you to check your email for a confirmation link to set your password for your account. Here we can add in some optional information such as web URL, your location, occupation and interests. Don't worry too much about filling all these in, as you can come back to them later by editing your profile on wordpress.org. Next, check your email account for the email from wordpress.org. You will see a link in the email that will take you to a page where you can set your password for your wordpress.org account. Now that we have our wordpress.org account set up, we can go back to the page make.wordpress.org/chat. You will see that the content on this page is now changed. Under the section heading Joining the WordPress team on Slack, you will see some information. This will tell you that an email account has been set up for you, which forwards to your own email account. After that paragraph, you will see a link to click to receive the invite from the WordPress Slack. Go ahead and click that link. The page content will change once more, letting you know an invite has been sent to you. Go ahead and check your emails. Be sure to also check for spam and junk folders just in case. In my inbox, I now have an email from Slack. This includes the link to join the Make WordPress Slack. Clicking this link will take you to your account setup page on Slack. Enter your full name here. I'm using a dummy name just for the purposes of this video. Also be sure to use a good strong password. You can also choose to accept emails from Slack. Since this is a demo account for this video, I will choose not to have the email sent to me. Click Create Account. It can take some time for the account to be set up and proceed to the next page, so please be patient. Once you are in, you will have some options available to you. These include sending a message to a friend or fellow team member to let them know that you have joined the WordPress Slack. You can also add a profile image and set notification preferences. There are also links to download the Slack app for your current device. On the left under Channels, you will see a couple of default channels to get you started. You can add or remove, or join or leave, any of the channels available. To add or join a channel, click the plus sign next to Channels or the Add a Channel link below the list. Here I will choose to add the accessibility channel. When you first click the channel, you will see some information on that channel, including topic description, meeting times, creation date, and also the number of members in the team. You can either click the preview for a sneak peek or click join at the top right. Preview allows you to scan the channel without joining or adding it to your list of channels. Within preview, you can then click to add or join that channel. Now that you have Slack set up, it's now a good time to go back and complete some of your details on your WordPress.org profile. Your profile image is pulled in from your Gravatar. So setting up your gravatar.com account with a suitable photograph is a great place to start. After that, return to your WordPress profile page and personalize your forum and WordPress.org profiles.
Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to our fourth episode of WordCamp Asia Contributor Day webinar series. This is episode 4, as I mentioned, and we're going to continue talking about different Make WordPress teams that you can join on the day of Contributor Day, 17th February 2023, Iconium, Bangkok, Thailand. Joining me today, once again, our Contributor Day team member, Mr. Lex. How are you feeling
Hello.
today?
Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. I'm feeling good. Thanks for asking, Ahmed. How are you? How are you feeling today?
I'm doing much better now that we've got this regularly going on. I feel like we can easily connect with the audience and reminding our audience to take advantage of the comment section underneath the Facebook live stream. You can also comment in the YouTube video as well as you can tweet about it. And we should be able to interact with you, answering your questions, comments during the live presentation of this show. So, Lax, as we broadcasted the very helpful and simple tutorial of creating a WordPress.org profile and joining different teams, channels in the Making WordPress Slack. Um, did you think that was very easy and straightforward to do?
Yeah, and excuse me. And
Bless
if
you.
you, yeah, and if you just a minute.
No worries.
Yeah, and if you feel you need some help, we have the training video. Like you can go step by step.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, Lex, I'm joining from Dhaka, Bangladesh. Tell us,
Sorry.
our viewers, where you're joining from.
Yeah, I'm joining from Philippines now. Yeah.
Excellent. Requesting our viewers to comment in the live video to let us know where you are joining from. We had viewers from Nepal, from Bhutan, from Japan, and India, and many Pakistan as well last time round. So, since we cannot cover all 20 plus teams, there's about 22, 23 teams, there's sub teams in the Making WordPress hemisphere. We decided to break down talk in different episode about certain teams. So today we have a few teams, and another essential or important aspect of these teams is the meetings calendar. WordPress.org meetings do take place sometimes weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, and many different ways. There are multiple time zone friendly meetings as well. So there's the APAC version, there's also the UN and North America version, also Euro friendly time. So it's a good um, option to check out the meeting calendar to find out which team is hosting which meeting during your time zone. So we're going to continue to remind that for our viewers. So we will begin with our first team today. And the first team that we want to talk about is one of the I should say biggest team in WordPress, because it is actually connected to WordPress itself. And I'm gonna let Lax do the talking. So Lax, which team are we referring to?
Yeah, we are talking about the core team. So core refers to when you say core, it is the WordPress itself. I mean the WordPress software. Either you can contribute by contributing to the code, you can do the testing, and also if you find a bug, you can report a bug. So all that stuff comes into core. And like Ahmed mentioned, core team itself, one of the large teams that's working relentlessly. Like you can see them working on even on weekends, and all of them are like open source contributors. They love WordPress, they love open source, and you can join them by joining the WordPress Slack in the core channel. And so you can see when you join this WordPress core, you are able to contribute based on your skill set, your interest. Like you can go with either, if you are a JavaScript developer, you can contribute to JavaScript. If you are into uh, like you like to test and find and report bugs, you can go. And also you can learn more about how a WordPress release is being done. Like right now we have 6.1, so how the 6.2 will be planned. So there will be planning, and things will be taken into consideration which one should go into the next release. And then there will be active development, and it is going to be tested. There is a beta release and release candidate and then launch. So there are 5 stages in each release. So you will learn more about this. It's going to be exciting.
That's right. For viewers, each year, each calendar year, we get 2 major releases of WordPress, and as Lex mentioned, we have 6.1 releasing
Sorry.
just weeks ago, and you can find out more details by just visiting the blog displayed in the screen. One thing unique about all the naming conventions is that each team has their unique blog, but the make.wordpress.org is sustained. So you can simply go and actually visit the suffix of the link. If it's core/core, if it's, as we discussed, photos last week, we had meta, we had themes, you can simply use those names to be the suffix of the link that you're looking for, and it should lead you there. So understanding the pattern and naming convention is something, as a new contributor, can result in a very meaningful way. So core has many different activities and focus areas. As Lax mentioned, it's mostly the programmers, software engineers, developers, tester. But I find it very unique that there's a increasing number of contributor who does not come from direct programming or development skills. So we're gonna have a lot of people joining the core table this year, I suppose, in 2023 when the contributor day opens. So let's talk about the next team, Lax. After core, the team that we are going to talk about is training, and Lax is going to tell us all about it.
Yeah. So I hear a few people might be wondering, like, if you are getting started with WordPress, I see people are wondering where to get started. Or there are a lot of blog posts available and there are a lot of videos available too. But how about the official WordPress itself? Like, WordPress has learned.wordpress.org. And if you are interested in training, or if you want something, if you feel, I miss, I want more videos about this specific topic, I need more help in this one. So then you can ask all that, and also you can submit your feedback. You can help me people plan the lessons, and all these efforts are going to the learn.wordpress.org, where the latest one, which is about block theme development. Block themes are hot in the WordPress industry, and if you are a developer or a designer and you want a good training, you can go with the WordPress itself. Like, you don't have to buy any expensive courses or something, and WordPress team reviews all these lessons, and they make sure it's it has ton of value and it's easy to follow and useful. So the training team, if you are contributing to the training team, you are actually contributing to the whole WordPress community. Anyone who wants to learn from WordPress, how to use it, and you can contribute, can start from training is the right place to start.
Absolutely. Training helps with many different ways, with online workshop, with lesson plans, and other tutorials. You can even read blogs related to some how-to, know-how guides. That is super useful for anyone when they're starting their contributor journey with WordPress. So, Lax, thank you for talking about the core and training team. I'm gonna take a moment and talk about or focus on some of our announcement. So I'll play 2 videos with 2 rounds of speakers that have already been announced. We now have about 32 speakers announced. So first, I'm going to play 2 videos, consecutive videos, with 16 different speaker names that have been announced in 2 different rounds. Let's just check them out, and then I'll come back and speak again. Thank you. All right, so 16 names. And last week, I remember you mentioned about Alan, whose session you were really looking
Interested.
into. So before we begin talking about the next team, I'm gonna play another announcement video, round three, and then we'll come and talk about the team hosting. So let's just see another video of another round of speakers' names, and then we'll come and talk. All right, new names and familiar faces. That's what
Yeah.
we expect. So the next team, Lax, which team are we going to talk about?
Yeah, we're going to talk about the hosting community.
Right, go ahead.
Yeah. So, when you are hosting your WordPress site, you may be having questions like which PHP version to use, which WordPress is compatible, which version is compatible with which software and all that stuff, right? You may be confused with what is VPN, what is shared hosting, what is a dedicated hosting, cloud hosting, all that stuff. So you may have questions and you can ask them, and also you can help people. So you have something figured out on your own through your experience, and you want to help them to the community. You can join the hosting community, and then you can share your experience. So for example, personally, I had few bad experience with certain hosting platforms, and then I figured out, oh, okay, this is not the right thing to do. So if you have such experience, this is the right place. And also, hosting community helps you to, uh, you know, uh, the best practices and what type of host to choose. What are the so, for example, if you are migrating from one host to other, so you may have a lot of questions related to hosting. So this is a best place to join. All are welcome
That's
to
right.
join the hosting community. Yeah.
That's right. Hosting team makes sure that the providers who provides hosting for WordPress, for your WordPress sites and many different needs, they pass a certain test. And every time there's a new release of an element, a component, or even WordPress itself, the test needs to be done by the hosting team volunteers. As we all know, all the teams are led by volunteers like us contributors that Lax and I represent. So I'm not going to go into those questions, but I'm going to go back to the video that we played, the round three speakers. I noticed there were people, Jonathan, and there were Benjamin Evans. Benjamin is a veteran contributor, and he is doing a lot of different new workshops I've been noticing. I also noticed Shubhashis, who joined in last week. I also noticed Tofar. Tofar is founder
Photos
of
lead. Yeah.
Press. Absolutely, he is known by many different feats. So Tofar is loved by everyone. He was at WordCamp US, and he shared a lot of different contributor stories, as I can recall. So big shout out to Tofar, who will be speaking at WordCamp Asia. So among the 8 names that I mentioned in the round three, any name that you're looking forward to?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to meet Carl. Carl is from Philippines. Yeah,
Absolutely,
so
Carl.
yeah, and I met him listening to talking about the WordPress performance last time. I'm not sure about his talk this time. I'm excited to listen to him, and also Topher as well. I he was one of the hosts during WordCamp US. Uh, I'm excited to meet him in person, and I also looking forward to hear from his contributor stories and about photos. He's now the uh, core team member of photos. So if you
That's
are
right.
interested in photos, and you can bring your camera or you can just your phone as well. Topher is a good place to. He's a really cool person. Like you can all our speakers are would be uh, very generous to share their knowledge and time. Yeah.
Point rightfully made. So we have Jaime Boy, who's joining us from the Philippines as well, and he says, "See you on February 2023." we also look forward to see you on 2023. Thank you for joining us. So let's move forward, and we're going to talk about the final theme. But before we talk about the final theme for today's webinar, before we move to the next one next week, I want to go ahead and play another round of announcement. So that's going to be a full volume loaded list of speakers. So let's look at round 4 announcements for the speakers, shall we?
Yeah, go ahead.
Any name that stands out? I know we're not going to be calling names or taking favorites, but still, I know every single session that is going to be held at WordCamp Asia after the contributor day on the 18 and 19 is going to be amazing. And
Yeah.
they are the best of the best, full of diversity, representing many different parts of the world, not just WordCamp Asia or Asia itself. So for me, Pichia Neri, I don't know if I pronounced the name correctly. She is one of the accessibility activists that I follow myself as an organizer of WordCamp, WordPress Accessibility Day myself. I really look forward to people, advocates who actually talk about accessibility. So, any name that stands out for you in
The
the last?
same. Yeah, the
Same.
same. And also, like, I don't want to butcher their names. I mean, I may not pronounce their names correctly, but I'm looking forward to meet them. Like, as an insider, we can talk about how this process was. It's like, it's very challenging to. We are also happy to see speakers from all around the world who are really willing to travel all the way from, their respective countries
Respective
to
countries. Yeah.
to Asia. And also, like Ahmed mentioned, it's really diverse and inclusive. There's now any we are just talking about certain of the known speakers to our personal experience, but it's not anything like the speakers are chosen, with their topics, experience, and also uh, there are a lot of other criteria involved, not just
Absolutely.
whether they are familiar or not. So that's why you can see many new faces as well. So we are all looking forward to meet them in person. And if you are not yet met them in person, make sure to join. Like,
Right. Thanks, Lex. That's another good point made. So, just want to remind everyone that the details and more information is coming on the uh, WordCamp Asia official site. And we get a question, relevant question to what we just discussed. When will the official scheduler program be released? That's a great question. As we are releasing and announcing the speaker names, once all of these speakers have been announced, by the time we will have our itinerary for 3 days of WordCamp Asia, 17, which is Contributor Day, is what we are actually promoting right now. And the 18th and 19th of February 2023 will be 2 days full of sessions. I feel like there's about 60 plus sessions that will be held. So please stay tuned. You can join our mailing list. You can come back to the WordCamp Asia official site, as well as Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and other social channels where we are actually continuously posting regular updates. So that's a great question. I just expect all of you to wait for a few more weeks while we announce those speakers and names. So before we go talk about our final theme for today's webinar, for those who are joining in, I just want to remind everyone these sessions have been arranged so that you, the contributors and the attendees, can learn more before the actual day of the event is unveiled. You can interact with us, Lex, and every other people that you will see in the webinar series are part of the organizing team. And from time to time, we might invite others who can bring context to what we are discussing. So please interact with us, share, comment, and let us know what you think and how we can improve this engagement. And as we mentioned at the start of the webinar, that we have 20 plus make WordPress teams, so we cannot talk about all of them in one sitting, and if we even try, it will not be justice to any of the teams. So we're actually segmenting that. So the final team is a team that I personally am a big fan of, and I have been trying to contribute for the past few months, especially after hosting some local meetups. So I'll let Lex do the talking about the final team.
Yeah. So last but not least for today, we are talking about the TV team. So how when you attend a WordPress, you will be excited to listen to the talks, and you may learn more. There are a lot of valuable information, ton of useful stuff, tips and tricks you will learn, right? So how about listening to all of them, and categorized, arranged, and also in multiple languages. So that is WordPress TV for you. When you go to WordPress.tv, you can view the past WordCamps, even tutorials, and also some videos from meetups. And uh, so it's a kind of a good resource. I personally recommend that to everyone who's getting started with WordPress. So if you want to learn something advanced, so for example, you have a WooCommerce store and you want to scale your store, like and you have a specific hosting problem and you don't know how to get it resolved. So if you have a something specific, or some special case scenarios, and you don't know how to get answers or help from, so WordPress TV might have everything. So you can search, you can find videos, and if the video has subtitles, you can find uh, the video in your preferred language. So the WordPress TV is maintained by the TV team, like WordPress make.wordpress.org and TV. So you can help by editing the video. Like there's no actually any preferred software or anything. If it's up to your choice, like if you know how to edit a video, just go ahead and submit the video. Go ahead and edit the submitted video, and that's by editing. Or if you are like captioning or subtitling the video, it's also very helpful and welcome. So for example, if you speak other language than English, or the other language than the video it is, so that's more helpful. It can reach more audience and it can help them understand it better. So you can add closed captioning, and also you can review, and so these are the ways that you can help the TV team. So all are welcome. There's no big experience or skill set required. And meetings happen in the Slack channel. So if you join the WordPress Slack core, join the WordPress TV channel, so you can join with the other contributors as well.
That's right. I'm gonna give some shout out back to Narit, who says hello from Thailand. Also to one of the very active contributors, Arslan Kalwer, hello from Pakistan. Hello to both Narit, Arslan, and Jaime Boy. I hope we're pronouncing your names correctly, and apologies if we are not. When we meet, do let us know, and we will try to make sure we rectify that. So just a reminder to everyone what Lex has just explained about WordPress TV. WordPress TV is basically the directory, and the directory is found at wordpress.tv, which stores all the WordPress related videos. It can be from a meetup, it can be from a WordCamp, and these are being uploaded to the directory for easy use and access for our contributors. We also have Shahriar Ahmed saying hello from Dhaka. Hi, Shahriar. Thank you for tuning in. We expect to see all of you at WordCamp Asia, hopefully. So I'm just going to add a little more context. We're almost running out of our 30-minute time slot for this webinar. I just didn't feel like 30 minutes was just over like that. So WordPress TV directory has tutorials, guides, sessions, and even community discussions, panel discussion, even the discussion that we're having right now. We can upload these videos to WordPress TV. There are different types of contributors who edit the video, who caption or subtitle those videos, as well as translate them into different language and then add those information to those videos to bring more context and reach. So just a recap to what we discussed today, thanks to Lex joining us once again in consecutive week. So we discussed about the core team, We then talked about the training team. We also talked about the hosting community team. And finally, we talked about the TV team today. That brings us to 8 teams in 2 weeks. We have to bring our speed up to catch up with
Yeah.
all teams. So just letting everyone know, WordCamp Asia is happening from 17th to 19th of February, Bangkok, Thailand, with the venue being Iconium. And we will be there waiting for you. Where our sessions are there to give shout out, to engage with our audience, answer your questions if any. These videos that we are hosting, these webinars, are available in our social channels in Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, and other channels. So Lex, did you have any comments, closing remarks before we wrap up?
Yeah, sorry, you might be watching, you may miss this live. All of us are busy, right? You may miss this live webinar. If you still have any questions about these 8 teams or the 4 teams we talked today, leave a comment below and we will discuss that in the next upcoming webinars. And thanks for tuning in, for all the love from all over the place, throughout the Asia. Yeah.
Absolutely. So as you see, our hashtag is hashtag WC Asia. If you use that hashtag, that makes it easy for this conversation for us to be noticing. So on that note, I feel like we have addressed all the comments and questions. Don't see anymore, so we can call it a night for this week. And Lex, once again, I want to thank you for tuning in for 2 consecutive weeks, for sharing the information and knowledge with our attendees, our contributors, as well as the WordPress ecosystem. So we look forward to having you again in the future
Sure.
episode. Until then, we say goodbye.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.